How do you stay busy at your internship when there isn't much to do? Apparently, I finished what they thought would take me the summer in 2 weeks and have been scrapping for things to do ever since. I know a lot of people have shared similar sentiments, but today is really bad because a lot of people I could have asked for something to do are on PTO, and I have no meetings, no task, nothing. It's been about 2 hours of nothing. Today I am also in office, so it makes it worse. I'm wondering how you guys stay occupied when there isn't much on your plate at your internship. I've been thinking of a task I could do, like automate a process, but I'm drawing blanks, or I try my idea and figure out I can't do it. The software doesn't have the capability, or the process requires advanced permissions. I'm just bored. Wow, look at you. They said it was going to take all summer. You did in 2 weeks. It makes me wonder, were they lying or are you really good? I don't know. It could be one of the two, right? But I'm going to give you a benefit of the doubt. I'm going to say you finished it quicker than it probably should have taken. And good on ya, huh? But I do also want to warn you, make sure it's clear what you did, that it wasn't just easy and so it didn't take you very long. It was a difficult task and you did it. You made it look easy. There's a thing I think interns and full-time employees run into where if you make something look easy, people will think, oh, well, it was easy. He didn't put up much of a struggle. That means, oh, anyone can do it. But no, you got to make your case still. You got to show that, no, this just looks easy because I'm good. So quick note on that, make sure, I know you finished it in 2 weeks, but make it clear why were you able to finish it in 2 weeks. It's not because of the task, it's because of your capabilities. Now, to your point, yeah, being an intern, I've heard some interns just, they're along for the ride. I've heard some interns have this situation where it's kind of like in TV shows, interns just kind of grabbing copy. They're not doing that, but it's something just as useless and menial. So what do you do to make your internship worth it? Well, you gotta first think about, what do you want out of this internship? Are you about to graduate and you're trying to parlay this into a full-time job? Are you still relatively new? You're like a freshman, sophomore in college. You're just trying to get as much knowledge as you can. You're trying to learn, well, what do I like? What do I not like? So that when I do try to find a full-time job, what filters should I apply? You gotta start there. What do you want out of this thing? From there, you can decide what your next steps are. So, for example, if you're trying to parlay this thing into a full-time job, you gotta show that you're useful. But you did everything they asked you to do, right? And in record time. But that's not how you get a full-time job. That is not how you get a job offer, from what I've seen. The people that get job offers do the work that is never assigned to them. It sounds counterintuitive, but they make work for themselves and they do it. The trick is you have to make the work you do for yourself actually useful. Don't just make it busy work to show that, oh, look, I'm busy. That's another thing I think some people believe, that, oh, if I stay busy, busy equals productive. That's not the case. That's like the other side of the coin I was talking about, where it took you 2 weeks, but you know, if something took someone 8 weeks, some people might believe like, oh, look, it took them 8 weeks, so this is inherently more important and valuable than the 2-week task. But that is wrong. That is a fallacy, dare I say. So if you're trying to get a full-time job, yes, you need to create work for yourself that shows you are valuable. The advice I got when I was an intern is that you need to identify a problem that your team has. When I was an intern, one of the problems I identified was that we had this server room, and it was never clear who was using which server on the rack. In our lab, we did have a whiteboard where when you use a server, you're supposed to write it, you know, your name in the thing and be like, yep, I'm using it. But you know, engineers, we would rarely do that. So I created an online system that when people started using the server, it automatically assigned it to them. So if you wanted to check who's using what server, you could check this application I made online and it would update in real time. It was not something anyone told me to do. It was just after working for the team for 4 months, it was a bottleneck, I guess, I identified. I was like, let me try to make that a little more frictionless. Oh, I'm throwing around great buzzwords here, folks. Feel free to take any of them. So that is how you attack this problem if you're trying to get a full-time job out of this thing. Identify a problem that your team has and provide a solution. If you're just trying to learn, if you're just trying to get knowledge so that you can decide, what do I like, what do I not like, you need contacts. Think about, so far, all the people you've worked with. I know you say people are out on vacation, PTO, but try to find anyone, even if it's a fellow intern, and be like, hey, what is your job? Because it's not the internship you're doing, but you can look at their internship and basically learn like, oh, that's a role that they're doing. Let me see what parts of it I like and I don't like. And if you're lucky, someone isn't taking their PTO and they're around, this is a perfect time. No one else is going to be bothering them, so you can bother them and ask them, hey, What was your internship like? Did you run into the thing I'm running into? What is your day-to-day? What do you do? I would like to know. Try to soak it all up, you know, like Salehi Bembury always says, be a sponge. And then, of course, I guess there is a third option, which is just enjoy, I guess. Maybe you did do your job. Maybe there truly is nothing else to do. Maybe you already kind of know what you like and what you don't like. Maybe take this time to be like, hey, I did a good job. I can chill now. That's probably not very likely, but hey, maybe it is. Also, you said you were on site. Maybe do a little bit of exploring. I don't know how big your site is, but, you know, see what's available. Are there cafeterias? Are there utilities you've never explored? Take the time to do it now. That way when people come back and they're in the office, they don't just see you wandering around. They're like, hey, what are you doing? Don't you have a job to do? What are you, Dora the Explorer? Get the fuck back here, okay? Get boots while you're at it. So yes, basically, in summation, my advice is figure out what you want out of this opportunity, and then from there, take the actionable steps. God, I hate the way I talk. Ooh, take the actionable steps. Follow up with people. Circle back. Shut up. How about that? And I guess the last thing I'll say, it's kind of like that just appreciate it point. This isn't going to be how it always is. You're not always going to be bored. So yeah, just appreciate that, ooh, there is a little bit of a lull, a little bit of downtime. Because hey, guess what? In a couple weeks, it's going to ramp way up again, and you're gonna be like, oh shit, I wish I was doing nothing. But while we are doing nothing, let's go ahead and see what other people said. Let's read the comments. In no particular order, explore digital resources. You probably have access to design codes, plans for old projects, etc. Spend some time looking through those every day. Explore physical resources. There are probably a bunch of cool old documents sitting around your office somewhere for you to poke through. Meet people. If someone doesn't look like they're on a phone call, walk over and ask what they're up to. Many people are happy to give you the 10-minute version of their task, and some of them might even be willing to give you a little tutorial on how to do it yourself. 4. Learn a program. Most popular engineering programs have a bunch of free tutorials available. Pick one and do a tutorial every day. 5. Find out if your organization offers online trainings or LinkedIn learning access. There are quite a few valuable resources out there, especially for popular tools like Excel. And 6. Scroll Reddit at your desk. So yeah. Those are a great list of options. Basically, the overarching point, if you want to summarize this as one thing, is just keep learning. And that's kind of what I was talking about. If you are a student, that is probably your best bet. Assume the position, right? You're a student. What do students do? They learn. That's right. So do that, right? If you're a point guard, you got to pass the rock. If you're a center, you got to post up. And if you're a student, you're going to learn a bunch of shit. Except, you know, in today's NBA, you know, because of Steph and Curry, all these bigs are shooting, and you really got to wonder, where is the game going from here? I used to find ways to make myself useful by organizing shelves or tagging file folders and chatting with other interns, who will one day hopefully be full employees somewhere and are good people to network with. Sometimes I'd walk by other employees' offices and ask if they needed anything. Oh yeah, organizing. See, that is one thing you can do. That kind of falls under the bucket of identify a team's problem, fix it. It's just a very tame example of that. And I do like that point. Other interns, they may be full-time employees one day. I mean, probably they will be. And those are good people to know as friends and also as contacts. I did an internship at Intel back in 2019, and there's still every month a group of interns that I do game night with. In fact, this coming Thursday, we're doing a game night again. And they all work at different companies than I do. So, you know, part of the beginning of our call, we don't even play games for like the first hour. We just kind of give updates on our job. Are we liking it? What do we not like? What are we thinking? Where are our heads at? So yes, you can make great friends and contacts just by talking to other interns. Because they are interns today, but they're tomorrow's future. God damn it. But also don't go into talking to the other interns with the sole purpose of like, I'm gonna network. I'm gonna have insider contact. Don't be opportunistic. Be sincere with your intentions. Don't be weird, I guess. That's the best way I can say it. Something nice comes out of it, good, but don't, yeah, you know what I'm saying. My internships basically paid me to learn. That, I think we've already covered that idea, but I like how they wrote it. This was, I guess, the shocking part to me once I became an intern. See, in college, you pay gobs of money to learn, but as an intern, you're getting paid to learn. And to me, that is such a weird 180, and it's so cool. It's such a great opportunity. So take advantage of it. And another opportunity you gotta make sure you take advantage of is liking this video, subscribing if you haven't already, and following me on Instagram. And I will see you in the next one.